Good evening. Happy Sunday. Good evening, Daniel. I greet you. Osas, I greet you. Happy Sunday, my people. I said let's start with some church church news that is raining for some time now. Good evening, Herbert. Good evening. Greetings, I greet you also. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. I forgot. Welcome. Good evening, everybody. Welcome. I greet you, Owona. I greet you. I greet you, Olumide. You're welcome. Happy Sunday. Yes, so we are all missing Igele. Welcome, 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 welcome. I want to share the video on my chat. Yes, so welcome, 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 welcome. I greet every one of you. I want to quickly share this on. Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. I greet you, Samuel Oge. You're welcome. Happy Sunday, Edwin. I greet you. Happy Sunday. You're welcome. Obona Habat or Saz. I greet every one of you. Oluseun, Oluseson. I greet you, Oluseson. Daniel Onyeke. I greet you. Yeah, so my people, I welcome you this evening. Because today is Sunday, there was a video I wanted to talk about, church and all those things, and I couldn't do it that day because I got very sick and my voice was gone. So even though my voice is kind of back, but I know that I'm not still completely, the voice is not completely there. I notice it even, when I'm talking and when I want to sing, I still notice it that the voice is not still completely back. But this is what I got, and I'm gonna use it like that. So I said, why not? Let today be the day. So some of the videos that I normally see about how they are doing, the doings that they are doing in churches, in the beginning or in the past, I used to share them. I used to say, look at what they are doing. But right now, at this point in time, it's very embarrassing for me, honestly, because even though I'm not the one, even though I'm not participating in that, but it's people like me, people that look like me that are there. So, I cannot say that I'm different. How can I prove that I am different? So it's like one hand wants to, deep hand in the oil and it's going to stain the whole finger right now. So it's very embarrassing for me that some videos, when I see them, I want to share, but sometimes I share them in the chat. But it's so ridiculous what the people are going through. And what all this thing is showing is a failure in the home training. So people are coming out from very, very toxic parenting. Like people are coming out from families that are very toxic and traumatic. That's my explanation. I'm not saying it's a definite fact, right? Because I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. You are always welcome to join and expand on the conversation. Why would grown men subject to themselves to things like that? That's what I don't understand. For the purpose of this video, let me share with you this video just for the purpose of I don't even know, should I like, I don't know, so many things that are going on, and I wonder, how is it possible that people are able to do something like this, that people are able to subject themselves to something like this, and I don't know, but this is what we continue to see. Let me just let me just show you this video a little bit. I'm not, like, for example, look at this one now. So they are in a church and he's kind of, their music is going on, and then he's doing all this, and then this one he will be falling, this kind of a thing. At this point in time, it's very embarrassing for me. Like, what is this up, and they're putting all these things on social media, and you'll be wondering, okay, what benefit? What does it serve? How does it elevate Africans? Those kind of a thing. The drama is too much now. See, I don't know, good evening. So I'll just be saying, like, this thing is too much. Like, even though I'm not there, I know I'll never be there. Even I know, like, the training I'm giving my children that they cannot be there, but you can't help it, And they was, I don't know, like, so. I'm not ridiculing anybody, but come on now, guys. The Europeans that brought this religion, is this what they taught us? Is that what they left for us? So is this what they left for us? Because we can go all out and say, oh, they brought these things for us, they use it to the look at what we are doing to our own people and our own. For example, nobody is spared. Children, there are so many videos. Like, there's one they made them to be eating grass. There's one they will make them to do very outrageous and ridiculous things. So yeah, I normally, like, even when if I want to do this video, I will eventually cut off this part because it's embarrassing for me in the long run. I don't want someone to say, look at what you people are doing, like, what value does this bring? So all the time they have been doing all these things, African people have been going through all this, and the problems in Africa continue. So many of them that have been doing all these things, they have left Africa, they have relocated to Europe now because one said they had bad dream for whatever reason. Even Baba Kumuyi is now in London, is operating from there, right? So that kind of a thing, I don't understand. What is the value and what does it bring to the table that you are doing that? Are you showing that you have power, that you can just look at someone and they will fall? What is the value that it adds to the African family? Are you getting me? So I don't want to talk down on anybody's faith or anybody's religious inclination, but we're supposed to understand that a religion, this religious belief is a concept, it's a concept that was put together for a purpose, right? So you can also take that concept, adapt it to your own specific situation, and it will be useful for you. So I don't know why they feel like they can just be doing this, and then I don't understand, like, what has this done for Africa for the past, let me say, for the past 30 years this has been going on. What value has it brought to Africa? What value has it brought especially to Nigeria, right? I don't know. The other time, a pastor told them to give money so that they will not go to heaven or somewhere, and he took them to somewhere in Ogun State. That story was going on and stuff like that. Like, so, what is the state of mind of people who fall into this kind of things? And yeah, the ridiculousness continues. And the claims that they make, and the people that fall for all those claims, right? But the one that I want to share with you, good evening. Good evening. Yeah, Owona. The one that I want to share with you this evening, I made that post before. As a matter of fact, I made that post when that story was raining, and although it couldn't be substantiated because there was a lot of back and forth. I'm trying to see if I will see that post. I made that post some time ago. Yeah, so my people, welcome back again to my live. This Sunday, we want to talk some things about church and religion and stuff like that. So I want to start with this story that is really trending. And I want to ask, what is the problem that the pastors are running over women, wives, and children? Where are the fathers? Where are the husbands? What is going on that individuals are able to do this level of carnage? Like, how do you grant pastors and outsiders so much access to your family members. Like, where is the man there? Because when you say, oh, I'm the man, you want to claim you are the man, and people can just have easy access to your family members. Like, how? It doesn't make sense, honestly. It doesn't make sense. So I want to share this story. What I say, while others are while others are falling, the cameraman will never fall. He will be busy doing his job. You get it. You got it. You get it. You get it. So anyway, guys, this story has been in the news for a little while, but today I saw another dimension to it. Although that audio, I've got it before, but I want to play it again for you guys, for you to be the judge. So the lady has debunked the story that it is not true, that she's not having anything to do with the pastor. So I'm talking about this story. I posted it about 2 weeks ago, thereabouts. So the Nigerian footballer, Kayode Olarewaju, and the wife, Ezinedora Kayode. You remember this story? It was trending about 2 weeks, precisely 2 weeks ago. And the story has it that the children, the 3 children, that none of the children are the man's own, according to the story. So I am not, I don't know where to start with this kind of story because it's so incredible. Anyway, my people, this story is one of a kind. So they said that this footballer that is called Kayode Olarewaju is accusing the wife that they have done DNA and none of the children is his, that he's not the biological father of those children, according to the news. But there's also another news where the woman has come out to debunk the story and saying that there is nothing like that, right? She's saying that nothing like that. Dora debunks claim that a DNA result has shown that her kids are not that of Super Eagles star Olarewaju. So we have these two sides. The story out there is that this is the story. How can three children not be even one gone back? It's not even. And what is the evidence for it? And they are saying that she has conversation, like she's always on phone with the guy, even in the midnight. So as evidence to corroborate this story now, there's an audio that has come out that I want to play for you guys here right now.
Stop making this. Stop making me even feel more bad. You did not wake me up. It's my birthday. Yes. Let me tell you something. Yeah? You didn't wake me up.
So this conversation happened between this said woman and this said pastor, Pastor Kewawa. And this lady in her husband's house on her birthday. This conversation is allegedly said to have happened. So you listen to this conversation and you be the judge. Does it sound like a Christian conversation, a church pastor and member conversation, or Kerewu and Kerewa conversation? You be the judge.
You didn't wake me up. Stop making this. Stop making me even feel more bad. You did not wake me up. It's my birthday. Yes. Let me tell you something. Yeah? You always feel that you can always tell me, like, I need you to take a rest. Do you honestly feel that I don't want to rest? See, when was the last time I spoke with you? You didn't think that I didn't call you because I wanted to rest. My balloon girls, they actually slept in my home. Everybody is up in this house. Everybody, as I'm talking to you, I've been awake since 12 mid-morning. You think people would not? You think you deliberately didn't want to call me in order to give people chance to call me? What's that? That's heartbreaking. Like, you think I want to hear their voice before yours? The last time we spoke was in the evening. I just left you. The last message we chatted. I've been sleeping.
Oh, sorry, I don't know what else to say.
Sorry.
Hey, he said that he's sorry that he did not want to wake her. That's why he did not call her earlier. Now she dey para. Like, you wake me. Like, what she's basically saying is, I'm waiting for your call. I've been awake waiting for your call. Why didn't you call me? What rubbish you are saying? You want to wake anybody up? Like, she has not heard. She heard his voice since evening, guy. Now your husband. Hey, hello, Duxie. He said, I stopped going to church about 8 years ago. I understand that I'm no more happier in Jesus. I stopped going to church. I am now more happier now. I'm telling you, this is crazy, guys. This is crazy. So what this is saying is, if you have a wife that church, you have to, you guys have to sit down and have that conversation. Waiting this up. It's not going to happen. You cannot be doing church. See now, it's not a conversation between the pastor and the wife. It's a conversation between the pastor and a member. But what is it sounding like? Huh? She's saying, let me let it talk.
Do you honestly feel that I don't want to rest? See, when was the last time I spoke with you? You didn't think that I didn't call you because I wanted to rest. My balloon girls, they actually slept in my home. Everybody is up in this house. Everybody, as I'm talking to you. I've been awake since 12 mid-morning. You think people would not? You think you deliberately didn't want to call me in order to give people chance to call me? What's that? That's heartbreaking.
Hey. Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking. Say they no call you. That they want to give other people chance to call you on a bad day. I did not call you. They heartbreaking. Huh? Wife, we sit down for inside house. Mother of children, pastor. Now they heartbreaking. Say no call you. This is terrible. Regardless of the outcome of that DNA or no DNA, like this kind of evidence. And I listened to Daddy Freeze. Daddy Freeze was even supporting his pastor friend, this man here, supporting him and saying, yes. Even him, he called women middle of the night. Really? They call woman middle of the night. As waiting now. Say waiting they sub. Waiting concern, waiting be that now. You dey call like you will be calling woman 2 a.m. like midnight. I've never seen this is a pure Kerewa discussion. He said, you did not call me. When last did I? And there are many other evidence that this woman is always having that conversation with this man. They are always having issues. And you'll be testing her. That one, he's here, And there's a story that is even trending in Benin City. That one, they have sentenced them now. The man traveled and the woman was doing kerewa with her pastor and he carried belle. They are not confused. The man now came back. The woman don't carry belle. Where you see belle, the woman now went to pastor. They now went to discuss, say they will buy the man. The woman now came out and said, pastor said they should come. They want to talk all those kind of a thing. Not knowing that they want to trick the man to somewhere that they will buy him. And unfortunately for the man, he went to follow the woman and they buy him and hide the body. But God catch them. That woman was sentenced last year or so. The news was all over the place. A pastor, right? And the other pastor, the one I showed you the video the other time, woman that went to pastor that they want to go and pray, they buy the woman. So You have to be careful. Today, everybody don't wear coats. Everybody carry microphone. And they are desperate. They are desperate. And again, because they are the way African people see this pastor, they see them above human. And when you have gotten away with all kinds of bad things for so long, you lose guard. You don't give a care. You don't give a hoot. You are just like on a when train is coming, everything in its part. So you have to be careful if you have young children. If with your women, what is that? You have to be careful. You have to have that conversation, and you do not allow your wife to have one-on-one conversation with a male pastor. Don't never. It's not done. Any pastor that like when they want you to come and have one-on-one conversation, it's not done. It's not done. If you want to have a conversation with a pastor, there has to be somebody else in the room, a female, a male and a female sitting down there. Then you will come, you have that conversation. No one-on-one. You have to be careful like that. You have to. Even you can imagine what is going on. For example, here in Germany, in the Catholic Church, so many cases of incredible things that they are doing. And even the Catholic Church is paying back so much money to victims. And imagine that Nigeria have not even gotten to that place that they are going after all people in the Orthodox clergy. We are talking about all these people that just wake up one day, call themselves pastor, and what they are doing. We have not even gone to that side. Do you know the records those people are doing? Making pledge that they don't want to marry, but then born picking everywhere. So, I'm telling you, how will you, especially a pastor, what are you having? What kind of conversation are you having with your whatever? So the pastors, they have gotten away with so many things. That's why you see all this kind of a thing happen. And unfortunately about all these things is that the people that actually love God and want to serve God, when they are seeing all this kind of thing, is discouraging. These are actually the people working against Christian. You understand? So all these kind of pastors that are doing all this kind of thing, they are actually the ones that are working against Christianity, not the person saying, oh, look at what they did or look at the other thing that they did. If you're a pastor, you have to have integrity. I personally, I've never come across such pastor. I've never been in, like, I don't know, Sha. I don't know. I've always had good pastors, honestly. I've never been a victim of any kind of all this thing like this, honestly. Happy Sunday. Yeah. So I personally, that's why I'm always not able to give like all of them. No, because I've always been fortunate to have pastors that are actually men of integrity, are sincere, honest, and they are always there for their members, and truthful, uplifting, prayerful. I don't know, maybe I won't even be in such a church because I wouldn't feel at home, right? Because I've not had that kind of pastor. Honestly, I've never. So, and all this thing, I'm seeing it on television and it's wondering for me because I don't understand. I remember when I was in Redeem, Redeem, they always have parish and then the pastor. The Redeem pastors in the parishes that I went to church with, they are always excellent. Like, I don't have any complaint. They were like looking after the church, after the members they visited. Their welfare was top notch. Like, I don't know, it felt like family. Honestly, it felt like family. There was a need. The pastors took care. if like there was childcare, like the directions, teaching, especially here when you come to Europe, you don't know what is right. You can easily be led as well. You can easily make mistakes. They stood in the gap, like sometimes, like if you didn't you needed someone to vouch for you, like they were there, like give you, because it was like an authority, and they could stamp, write something, give you the church address for something. So it was I've been really fortunate. I've not come in contact, like well, it's interesting for me when I'm seeing all this, and I'm wondering now, who are the kind of people that are going to this kind of churches and are sitting down and allowing such things to happen to them? What kind of family do they come from? Right? Like the pastors that have come through from Anglican church to Redeemed Church, and now I don't go to Redeemed Church anymore. I go to like a German church and an international church also. Like the congregation I've always been has been a blessing, have always added positivity to me. Like I've never gone to a church where I was taken advantage of or where I fell victim. Me personally, that is my testimony. Honestly, that is my honest testimony. Good afternoon. So the churches I've gone to, they have always been a source of help, a source of inspiration, a source of community, like name it, honestly. So most of the people I know at one point or the other when here in Europe has always been through the church, whether they are um, our Nigerian people or even white people. It's always through the church. Sometimes maybe you need some assistance, or you need, like in the beginning, you needed interpretation. All those, everything was through the church body. So I understand the importance of church beyond believing and salvation, like for the physical needs of this earth, right? But what happened to people? Like, at what point does it go from this to exploitation? And how are people not able to notice it? I don't know. Because I am thinking that if it happened to, if I want to see someone want to take advantage of me for whatever reason or in whatever guise, you know, I'm going to, I should know, right? I should know, because I'm thinking with my brain, because my mind is alert. Why would you fall victim like that? Like, you're a woman, you are married, you are in your husband's house, and the pastor is calling you at odd hours in the night, and you are having a relationship with a pastor, and to the point you are going and committing adultery with him. Like, you know, where is your sense of right and wrong? Beyond anything that the pastor have said or whatever the pastor believe, where is your sense of right and wrong? It has to kick in at some point, except you don't just have any idea of what's good or bad. It's all just, so you're just rolling, or my pastor say, my pastor did not say. At some point people need to take responsibility for their self, right? So when I look at all these things that they are doing in the churches, I shake my head. It's shameful for me, because why don't you take responsibility for yourself? And when you see all these women in the churches, like the video I showed you, what kind of children do you think they are raising? Children that are going to see even pastors even more as demigods, that they will not be able to question them. I don't know. Good evening, my brother Henry. I greet you. Ayila, I greet you. Uche, I greet you. Yeah, so that's it about that. So I don't know. I wanted to also quickly, as usual, always give an update about Ijele, and I wanted to share some of the videos that I didn't get to share while I was sick. That Sunday that Ijele was Just a minute, guys. Yeah, I wanted to share this video with you guys. So this is the video of Ijele. This is the last video of Ijele, and of course you can see Showore by his side. And yeah, there are some people that are circulating some video and saying, oh, Ijele is being, it was a doctored picture. I'm not going to share that picture ever, but the picture is there. You can look for it and see it. And they are just using that video to make themselves happy and amuse themselves, but it is for them. It is not about Ijele. Like I said yesterday night, Ijele, as you can see, he's here. Yeah, his movement is restricted, he's under restriction, his freedom is tampered with at the moment, but he's not behind lock and key, like the way they are making it. So this was him, the last court. I think this was on 30th that he had a court case. So you can see him and he was making videos, and these people were watching it, and he was see all the people that are defending Ebuko.
Ewo. No, you are building the problem now. What is your problem with the camera?
See this, and they are also snapping picture with the people's president, Showore. Yeah. So I was not able to share this with that. Ijele fan, you can see it's not under lock and key where they are making it. It's just under he has not been so you can see he's free. He, like he's in detention, quite all right. The law is just what is holding him there, but it doesn't mean that he's under lock and key. He's behind bars and grasping for hair and begging for what. I know all those things are theater, they are drama. It's not true. But if you want to believe it, if it makes you fine, if it makes you feel good, go for it. But you can see Ijele and Showore, the people's president, you can see him there. And yeah, so Showore has showed himself strong with Ijele here, and I'm really, really thankful and appreciative to him and his team, including Deji Adeyanju. I appreciate them very much, and Marvin Omorigbe Chambers, Deji Adeyanju Chambers, and yeah, they have been representing Ijele very, very strongly. These people, they came with a lot of manipulation and a lot of misadministration of the justice system, and they couldn't have their way in Abuja, so they try to see if they can buy their way in Lagos. So we are following it, and the process is ongoing. And yeah, I know that it cannot take any longer than it has already taken. That's what I know. So this is Ijele here. He's not under lock and key. You can also see that he's visibly strong. He's okay right from beginning. Right from beginning, he has always been in good shape. So I don't know, what Ijele took from them that makes them so happy to want him. That I saw someone was making a comment that Ijele Paye somebody, Ijele born houses. I'm like, where, like there's a lot of people that want to project some things onto Ijele, but you got the wrong person, right? So at the end of the day, Ijele is going to triumph. That's it. Yeah, so they are the ones. Look at big, hefty human beings like this, they are all coming out to come and defend somebody that will do his eye like this. Like, That's actually ridiculous, you know. I like to go to congregations, like when I will hear something that will stimulate my mind for the rest of the week. I don't go to places where they are doing drama and doing eye like this and doing, as they giving birth through the Holy Ghost and water, all those kind of, like, it's so demeaning for them. But I don't know. Look at big, big people like this. They are big, like, I don't know. Wait till they see chop, you know. So yeah, this is Ijele. Ijele is strong, and let me share another video of Ijele when this whole thing started. I have not shared for a while now. Let me share another video when Ijele was in. I'm going to share it from Sahara Reporters here. I don't know if I can play this audio, Sha, but let me. You see Ijele here, So that's in the beginning when this whole thing started, and I shared the other video from yesterday. I'm going to share the video again. So at no point does it suggest that Ijele has been held bound, that he cannot move, he's begging for water, all those kind of a thing. But obviously there are some people that are so easy, they just need to be said, this is what you have to think, this is how you have to think it, and be thinking it like that. And that's all, that's how they operate. I greet you, Obina, I greet you. This is how they operate. So this is Ijele here. Say whether or they do miracle, I know they do miracle. So this is Ijele in a courtroom. I don't know where all the fabrication is coming from, honestly. We they greet you too. Okay. We they greet you too. We, your people, we are greeting you. So I don't know what gives them that. Let me pause it here for a little bit. Yeah. So this is Ijele here. He's strong. He's well. Yeah, you have restricted his movement, but that's not the end of the world. Life goes on, right? Life goes on. So everything is a learning curve for him, also for us, all of us. And the whole situation have also opened up a lot of things for us that we didn't know. Like maybe when you hear, oh, the judiciary is this, judiciary is this, you have never really had a close contact. You don't really have any experience. So even though we are not the one physically there, but we have been able to see the process for what it is, how it is going. And for example, how a magistrate that knows that a case is not in his jurisdiction, like how is a magistrate court able to admit a case that is not even in his jurisdiction and kept on adjourning and postponing and remanding somebody in jail, even though it was not in his jurisdiction? So that is an outright misappropriation and abuse of the court process, of the judicial process, right? So you can't do that somewhere else. You can't do that in Germany. You can't do that in the US. You can't do it anywhere else. So when you are hearing that the judiciary is corrupt, that is what we are looking at. That is what we are looking at. That somebody he calling himself a magistrate that is registered under the Federal High Court in Abuja, and he knows that this case is not in his jurisdiction. But because he's a dishonorable person dealing with dishonorable people who hold Bible and microphone and call themselves pastors, he's taking on a case and sitting on it and reminding someone he never saw, he never was docked in his court, and he knows it was beyond his jurisdiction. Eventually, he struck it out, but he didn't sign the documents. And when he would sign it, he was writing production warrant for them to take it back to Lagos and start another process of judicial magistrate, another magistrate, So this is the level of the corruption. Right? And that one, he struck it out and passed it on to another magistrate. And you know that this is not a case of magistrate. So that magistrate, the man in Yana, he did all his ceremony more than a month. He passed it on to another magistrate. And that magistrate, even till tomorrow, never saw Ijele with her two eyes. She sat on that case, sat on it, and remand, adjourned. So at the end of the day, when they say the judiciary is corrupt, you are looking at a typical example of a corrupt judiciary system. that a magistrate that doesn't have a jurisdiction for a case sat on that case for more than 2 months. This is abuse. This is outright abuse, brazen abuse. And that they were able to do that is because they know there's no consequences. They know that the Nigerian Judicial Commission, they are just sitting and looking on. Tolo, looking on. They don't get what they want to. So it's a free for all. And one of the things that holds societies and make great societies is law. What makes anybody everywhere to function is law. You know that you can't, even in America, even here, that you know that you are never going to go get away with it. People still try. Talk less of where you know you're not nothing. There's no consequence for you. They're going to do it. So this is what happening. And a lot of people have been saying, Ijele doesn't have anybody. This is showing that he doesn't have anybody. What is the person he knows going to do? It's a court process. It's a court process. And when the person, has enough money from offering and tithe, from donation, too much money at his disposal, and he's able to pay, it's a cash and carry judiciary. So, but at the end of the day, you can only delay and do all these things, but eventually you just wasted your money and the money of your church members. Of course, it doesn't matter for them because it's not their money. They didn't sweat for it, but that's a conversation for another day. So if you're a Christian and you're happy for something like that, and you are, remember Ijele has lawyers that are actually fighting for him. When it will be your turn, who do you have that will fight for you? You have a lawyer. Now, Femi Falana, the senior advocate of Nigeria, is representing Ijele in Lagos. Do you have anybody that's going to represent you in Lagos, in Abuja, in anywhere? You don't. So that's it. So Ijele is fine. Disregard anybody that is giving you all this news and say, oh, Ijele like this, so Ijele like that. And no, it's not true. It's not true. It's not true. It's just that he's in detention, but he has not been sentenced. There's no case. It's a civil case. So at the end of the day, the case has been brought against Ijele. What is the punishment for it? If, for example, he's found guilty, if let's say he's found guilty, what is the punishment for it? It's not jail sentence, even still, right? So that's it. That's it. Yeah, those two magistrates, of course, they did whatever they did in the glaring presence of everybody. Yeah, they did whatever they did, and the work of their hands will speak when the time is due. Yeah, because it was not hidden. It was not hidden. It's not a magistrate case and you did it. So they were trying to do the same thing. They were trying to run I think maybe they couldn't buy the judges at the Federal High Court and they were running to Lagos, So imagine if someone that didn't have anybody. This is how so many people are languishing in Nigerian prisons. So my appeal to the Comptroller General of Nigerian prisons is that they should look into the magistrates and the remand that the magistrates have written and thrown people indiscriminately into prison. So when they're talking about they want to decongest the prisons, this is why the prisons are full. People are being thrown into prisons, into detentions for over civil matters. For example, the other lady, what is her name now? This Erisco and Chioma. No, that lady, she has now suffered a miscarriage in detention. And mind you, this is a civil case. Yeah, it's a civil case. A lot of people were saying, she would have said that she's sorry and everything would have gone like that. I don't know about that, but even that may be the case. But why is it possible for anybody to use the police and the judiciary as a means of oppression? It's only happening in Nigeria. Either you do the crime or you didn't do the crime, but it's not like someone can just, frame you up and perpetrate that injustice using the state articles. Is very unprecedented. So, maybe we never really understood the level or the extent to which and how deep this thing is, but Ijele's case has made us to understand it. Yeah. So So this is Ijele. For anybody that is joining us, you can see him here. When he started, when he first of all went to the court. This was here in Abuja. At this point, he was in Abuja, and you can see that he has never been so so maybe restricted or being carried. So this is Ijele here. He's in high spirits. Yeah, you know, life happens all the time. So like me, in between, I've been sick. Many of us, things are happening in our own lives, you know. So yeah, and for me, it's a learning curve. You know, things happen for everyone to learn from it, you know. So Ijele is sending his greetings once again, and he's saying everybody should keep faith and don't lose hope. Everything will be fine, you know. Everything will be fine. So the last video I showed you guys was when he was here, when he went to when he went to, let me share that video again. This was the last video on the 30th. So the case was adjourned again, you know. No, this was not on the 30th. So this one was on the 30th. This one was on the two magistrates have, yeah. Now of course, you know, that's why, for example, people who do a public office job, like a civil service job abroad in the US or anywhere else, they are paid very well and taken care of to avoid being manipulated with bribe, you know. So but when you pay police so low, you pay law enforcement so low, of course there's also an element of greed, an element of lack of integrity. Maybe they don't even know the purpose of their or like they don't care, right? They don't care, they don't give a hoot. It's all about them and what they want to what they want to gain. And this was the other video of Ijele yesterday. Let me share that video. I shared it also yesterday. So this was the video. I shared this video yesterday with you guys. So it was also in court yesterday. So you can see him here leaving the court premises. So there's never been a video or a picture where he was in chains and bound and behind, you know, bars like this. So I don't know. I don't know why he's giving them so much joy to peddle that video, right? So yeah. I know, right? I know, right? Yeah, you are right. Of course, I'm making an excuse, but I'm not making an excuse at the same time. I'm trying to maybe try to understand why would they be so cheap and lack so much integrity, but it is what it is. So this was the Ijele's appearance at last. In the last here, you can see that he's still looking good. So disregard the misinformation, except you have an interest to hear that misinformation. You know, they sweet your belly. Now that one you like, I cannot stop you. But this is Ijele, and yeah, the corruption is from the top, honestly, because the corruption is from the top. So you can imagine if a magistrate can be collecting bribe and sitting on a case that is for the federal high court. So what do you expect the police to do? So the corruption is from the top, and they know that the main issue is that they know there's no consequence. Because if you know what you are doing will cost you your entire job, cost you your entire career, you won't do it, right? But because they know they can do it and life goes on like nothing happened. And like that, Yana, he has been doing that since 1990. So you can imagine how many people he would have written that remand, all those is fake prison remand, this motion ex parte, all those things. This system, they copied it from the USA. And do you see that the USA are doing it? So that's the corruption. That brings me, maybe I need to even talk about this return to yeah, that brings me to return to parliamentary system. Yeah, because now it's in the news. They say, "Oh, we want to return to the parliamentary system. We want to return to the parliamentary." Like, since we're at the place of going back, let's kukuma go all the way back. I posted that. Oga, I posted that video. Or let me pull it up a little bit so we can read it together. Yeah. Yeah, me, I don't know this period in time, but it obviously is something. They said revert to 1966 constitution. Eh? So, what is the 1963 constitution? The 1963 constitution was a parliamentary system of government. Honestly, if you ask me, in my own humble opinion, I feel like if you really want to go back to the regional system, it has to go back to the constitution of 1963, if you ask me. Like, it really has to go there, because at this point it was parliamentary system of government. Like, I don't know what it looked like in Nigeria of those days. Maybe people who are older can educate us. Let me share the link if anybody knows any better. I can only say from what I know here in Germany, because, for example, here in Germany, they practice, is also a federal government, they practice federal government here in Germany, and they also practice that parliamentarian system, like parliamentary system of government, of legislation. They call it the Bundestag. The Bundestag in Germany is the federal parliament, and it's open almost every day. Like, you can actually, it's in the capital, Berlin. Then each state also have their Bundesrat. That is like their state parliament, one parliament. And in this German system of parliamentary system, is you don't vote individual. So, like, there will be no Tinubu, there will be no, but you will vote the parties. Like, you will vote APC, you will vote PDP. So any party that wins the majority will form the government. Are you getting me? I feel this is actually what we needed. I did not know why they needed to change that system into this constitution, and all this state. Like, this is really, really, if we say we really want to go back, I really believe we should go there. I really believe we should go there. So yeah, let me read a little bit what the post is saying. Is saying we believe that it's a bold step by the president, Senator Ahmed Tinubu, to, I don't know why they need to talk about somebody's past position. Like, is president not enough? I don't get this Nigerian people. Like Hope Uzodinma, they continue to say Senator Hope Uzodinma. Is it not okay to say Governor Hope Uzodinma? And now President Tinubu, is it not enough to say President Tinubu? Why do you have to say Senator Bola? Like, I don't get it. Anyway, Nigerian people, that's for you. So he said that he wants Tinubu to go back to the 1963 constitution. So he said that the 1999 constitution currently being in use was rudely and forcibly introduced to Nigerians. The group urged the president to take urgent steps in reverting to the 1963 constitution to avert imminent anarchy. Yeah, so I don't know. I think if we really want to go back, let's go back to the real our brother say no system of government will work in Nigeria unless there is attitudinal change by Nigerians and their leaders. Like I said yesterday, yeah, since they don't know where they are going, their style of leadership is to loot, to be corrupt, to embezzle public funds, to misappropriate public funds. Since over how many years now they have not been able to build all the roads in Nigeria with all the money, right? Over how many years they have not been able to invest in education. The quality of education is poor. How can a whole country not be able to invest in the least of the commodity? You know, education is for sale for the highest bidder. The other day I was looking, a primary school in Abuja, no roof, like dilapidated in Abuja, a public primary school. The Sarara reporters was reporting, and now Wike have started rebuilding that school. Is it only that school? It doesn't. It's not only that school. So why can't, for example, the Minister of Education, how can you come out and say, I am the Minister of Education, and there is no public school that is in standard in everywhere across Nigeria, all of the state? You are the Minister of Education in Nigeria. You cannot make it a priority. But you are collecting all the big salaries, you are collecting all the motor, all the entourage, all the, like, basic things. Okay, how can you be the Minister of Health and you have commissioner for health in all the local government, in all the states, and there is no public health system adequately for everybody? So this is a government that failed themselves. So you have failed governors going to the Senate to become senators, to become, what rubbish is that? You failed as a governor, of course you will fail as a senator, right? So yeah, so I feel like, and because it's kind of convoluted in a way that it was easy to say the person that is doing it is far away, is Abuja, is the president. So everybody's looking the president right like now. Everything everybody say President Buhari, President Tinubu. You understand? Like, Tinubu is actually trying to tell them, okay, look at the governors, trying to say the local government is supposed to work, right? They have autonomy. They are supposed to work. Now, President Tinubu has taken the local government to the state governors to the Supreme Court, and they have seven days to appeal or whatever, right? The motion or whatever. So it's the process that is ongoing. And now, when you say people should hold the governors accountable, hold anybody accountable, what is the instrument you have given them to you do that holding accountable, right? So we don't know the instrument. So why am I saying all these things? Since like going forward, no, they show there is no progress. It's retrogression, anyways. The country is retrogressing, so make the cuckoo do the retrogression official. Let everything go back to where it's coming from. Let's start again. Because, for example, all the stories, all the histories, everything of hate, of anger, of bitterness, we didn't experience it at younger generation, but we are feeling it, and a lot of people have swallowed some pill that is roboting them up and down. They don't know their left from right. They are in that state. It's like in a state of mind that nothing can change that opinion in their head, that perspective they're already taken. So what can you do? So maybe if it is in the regions, then it will be more easily obvious that it is not the Yorubas that are your problem, right? That you have to cater for yourself in your region there. Are you getting me? Yeah. So the system we have so far have created corrupt individuals and corrupt means of getting to wealth, unquestionable wealth, corruption in the sense that you can get away with anything, and because you are far away. For example, you are a senator in Anambra State, in Ogun State, and you are living in Abuja. You are far away, right? So I'm looking at it that it's not going to be like that in the parliamentary system, right? That I don't know how they want to convolute it, but I think something just needs to give, right? So, but more importantly is that the conversation is happening where it's supposed to happen, not on the street, like I said. Because the problem we have always had is that people on the street outside talking, whereas the people that are supposed to be talking that thing in the House of Assembly, in the Senate, are busy not doing whatever they are doing, right? So if they're having this conversation in the Senate and in the House of Assembly, it will be easy for us to know where each and every one of them stand, right? So what I will advocate is, if you are interested to know the outcome, you better you follow the conversation that is ongoing in the Senate and see, it's a draft, it's an act, so they have to assent or reject. So if it is assented, and you know who is accepting and who is not accepting, so that you will not go and say, oh, Tinubu, I think it's a welcome development. We cannot have the same population now. Do they even know the real population? They don't know the real population now. Who then counts? Who they fed they count? The population of Nigeria is a projection. Nobody know the actual population now. I want to know the population. Do you have census? It's not like there's a record of deaths and births now. There's no record, right? So the institutions are almost have failed. They didn't work. We have National Population Commission. Normally at birth, everybody's supposed to have a certificate, so you just tally the numbers, the number of people in the country. You don't know that in Nigeria. Many people don't have birth certificate. Where they for see? Who fair know them? Many people say they give themselves birth certificate, they give themselves date of birth. Like, especially people who were not born in the cities, people who are born in some villages, where there are still villages where motor no they drive rich in Nigeria. There are villages in Abuja, environ, I've learned that they are still buying twins. Yeah, as of 2024. Villages around Abuja, the capital territory, that's how local the whole thing is. And there's a brother that Daniel Onkwada and this Enenche, Enenche, that when they travel around Nigeria, you will see how rural so many parts of Nigeria is. I'm telling you, so many parts of Nigeria are so rural. Some, they don't even know. They will be looking like they've never seen. I'm telling you, honestly. Yeah, mostly it's age declaration affidavit. Who fail tell you your bad date sef? Sometimes even maybe they know the day, the record keeping is poor. Maybe when they get back to them, they even have the birth certificate, and they move from one side to the other. Who fail they keep the record? Maybe the paper don't throw away, maybe the house burn, maybe water touch and whatever. Everybody know this thing now. So yeah, so it's a retrogressive society. So make the cuckoo go back. Really, if you don't know where you are going, go back again. Let them go back. Yeah. And maybe all this agitation, so that maybe let our generation in this digital age even experience why they reverted to this federal system, because there must have to be a reason, but we don't know, because everything is embroidered in bitterness. So maybe if we get to know it, it's not a problem now, During Bubu's tenure, the governors who embezzle money, and when we ask why the president is not holding them accountable, the party loyalists on the government side will be defending his saying it's not the president's duty to know how the governors using their allocation. So there is bingos on both sides, and it's detrimental to join any side if you are for the truth. Yeah, of course. It's always better to be neutral, because that's how you can see. Because there's no how you take side that you will not be biased. It's impossible. Even without taking side, there's even an inclination to be biased here and there, right? Yeah. So if you say people should hold somebody accountable, what is the instrument that they are going to use? What is the instrument? But for the fact that we are even having this conversation from the presidency is something good. Like, So which means President Tinubu is feeling that pressure, the impact, that there is dissatisfaction in the population, and he's also feeling it. Buhari felt it also, but I don't know, for some reason his government was just kind of lame duck. Now it was just like a lame duck government. And even this autonomy for local government, Buhari started it, I think, correct me if I'm wrong. Buhari signed it into law that the local government have autonomy. So I was wondering, like, if they have autonomy, what does the governors have to do with it? So how did they manage to put it under the governors if the bill that the local government have that autonomy, right? That's my understanding, that they signed the bill that local government is now autonomous. So why is the governor still having that influence and having that capability to stall what is going on in the local government, to carry out what they call it, elections, or not to carry elections? It's confusing. So I don't know. So obviously there's a lot of retrogression. So let's go back within the local government, within the regions. And so we have to decide what kind of regions are we going to have now. So what are the regions going to be considered with, So yeah, it's something that has to be done. I think that the worst would be not to do anything. The governors ignored him. A former president in Nigeria once confessed he didn't know his real age while defending a former Senate president who had questions to answer about his age during their tenure. Of course, now that's a fact. They are like all these people that they are buying their parents now, and they are moving them from one place to the other. How will they know their age? Think about it. Good evening, my brother. You're welcome.
Yeah, good evening, ma.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. And once again, thank you for having me on your program.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So, let me just add my 5 cents anyway. Because I think irrespective of where one is residing, not until the person has that understanding of the dynamics of governance, the person will keep blaming the president every day. I mean, President Buhari did a lot of good things, but they should remember he is just the president. Every institution, every agencies of government, every parastatal has their own independent ways of doing things. Say, for example, now, you don't expect the president to do the job of EFCC. He can only appoint, maybe sign some necessary documents. But the EFCC officials, or EFCC as an institution, needs to make sure that their officers are above board. Look at what is happening with the judiciary now. Ijele's case is just the least with the decadence. Look what the judiciary and the police are helping mountain on fire pastors to do. Will you blame that on Buhari as well? Buhari signed Executive Order 14 and 16. Will you blame Buhari if your governors have refused to implement any of them? You see, President Tinubu is going to pull the rug off the roof of the pull the rug off their roof. Off their feet. Sorry. That is why people need. You see, the only thing I'm interested in, let me see how it will pan out. All we ask is for life. I.e., at least I understand what regional government is, because I live in a country who has it. Now, Southeast go and have their own main parliament. Let them deal with their issues. That means it's either the 5 states will collapse into one assembly, because Abia State will not have their own, Imo will have their own.
Yeah.
You guys have to collapse into one. It's gonna even cause more problems. If an institution as small as NDDC is causing controversy, is it the regional government? Like somebody mentioned, without a reorientation and change of, attitude, we'll have a problem. Any person now, people should look at the Tinubu's administration. On infrastructure, they are doing their bit. Tinubu now is moving more on the side of policies, which hasn't happened since 1999. People have forgotten this guy's name, which was one of his appointees, that tried to reform one of the agencies of government. Tinubu is more policy driven. Today he has presented this. It's no longer confab. He doesn't want to waste the time of Nigerians setting up a constitutional conference or confab. We've had so many confab. The last one was in 2014. Now he's bringing that document to the National Assembly. You guys should do the needful.
But the question now is, like, I don't even know, like, are they going to use the 1999 Constitution to create a regional system, or are they going to go back to the 1963 Constitution?
That is where the conversation gets interesting, and this is where most of the people from the South is who have been clamoring. The Odua Nation, Yoruba Nation, these are the time they need to begin to go to their various representatives. These are times, we need to begin to have these surgeries within our own local communities, begin to brainstorm. But unfortunately, most of the people crying this wolf, if you bring them to a round table, none of them can even draft a single governance document. Even if you take them to Australia, give them a document, copy and paste, they cannot even amend, they cannot even try to, adopt it and solutionize it to their own local environment.
Yeah, but they are not. They are not state actors. It's for those people in the legislative. Are you saying those ones cannot do that?
Man, honestly, legislators or senators or House of Reps who have them, they are nothing but just people that are there. They have, people within the civil service that draft these policy documents.
Okay.
But I'm just saying to tease them. If you give them, even if you bring Onyen Dufu and Sunday Igboho now, none of them can draft a 10-page governance document on anything. Not even how their local government can be managed.
Okay.
But people should stop blaming Buhari. Buhari has done his bit.
Don't say that people should not blame anybody, please, because once you put yourself, you have been a president and so many things didn't go well under your rule, people have that freedom to blame, right? But after the blaming, who is going to take responsibility for all the things that failed, right? So that's the problem we are having: lack of responsibility, lack of accountability. So we have a problem where people in government have easily made excuses that we even help them to make excuses. We shouldn't. If we come down to it, let them come and make that excuse for themselves, because we didn't rule with them. But maybe from the outside, you can see these things didn't go well, and you can, blame or make complaint or make your feelings known. But I don't think we should make excuses.
It's not making excuses. Now, let's go back to local government autonomy now. Buhari, he tried to make local government control their own accounts. Same governors refused. The difference is that
under what power did he try, and how did governors override it? Because when you have tiers of government, how were the governors able to override him? That's what we don't understand. Because if someone said, I tried to do this and I couldn't do it, and I don't know, and you are the one, I would think, at the apex, right? Higher in the hierarchy. I don't know.
President Buhari signed executive order, but today President Tinubu is trying to go to the Supreme Court to rule on it. And the question is, if the Supreme Court does rule on it, will the governors abide by it?
Yeah, so first of all, he didn't do his own well now, right? So he could have also gone to the National Assembly instead of an executive order, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And we have a guest, Crucible. Good evening.
Hi, good evening, Madam
Hi.
Dom. How are you?
Good evening. I'm
This is
good.
Bonner Girl. How are you,
Ah,
Mr. My brother too? How are you, sir?
you're welcome.
Madam
Well
Bon,
done.
how's America?
How America is fine. How are you doing, sir?
I'm
We
very
are
good.
doing fine.
Well done, sir. Well done, Miss Blessed Dom, for the good work you're doing. Thanks for your
Thank,
support for our brother Ijele.
thank you.
Um, really, I want to believe that the way forward now.
Mm,
I've always said it, and which is a right step in the right direction that the president has proposed, is they should regionalize Nigeria. Since that is what the average Nigeria wants. And really, unfortunately, the present system we are running is too expensive for us.
mm,
It's consuming more than 60% of our revenue. So, of what point, when we are using the money generated that are meant to be for infrastructural development, that are meant to better the lives of Nigeria, is just being used to settle some few lots
mm,
who are not, they are not visionary. They don't have any vision. They just
mhm,
want to go sleep,
mm,
collect whatever allowance they want to. They even want to collect more in spite of the nation bleeding.
mm,
I believe we should try the regional. We should go back to the regional. Even no matter how imperfect our law is, it's, a society evolve over time. And they said necessity is the mother of invention. When we get to the bridge, they will need to propose and do the necessary step to
mm,
to enact laws, enact whatever statute or whatever that will work. Please, because this madness, we can't continue. This system we're running is not sustainable. Unfortunately, we're almost going. The system is almost totally collapsed. Talk of the judiciary, talk of
mhm,
the justice system, talk of the police, talk of religion. At least now, if everybody, okay, the Igbos have been clamoring, yeah, we want our region, we want to this. By the time they go to their region, unfortunately, I'm sorry to say, we all a different region has their own whatever, but it's even the Igbo that this regionalization might not pay so much, because really there is nothing so much in on ground to fall on. No infrastructural development. Unfortunately, I'm hearing that even the North now, during our Buhari administration, most of their governor, they've done a whole lot of things. Even some of them have brought some companies from some collapsed company from Turkey to start whatever in the north. And we
we
at the
have
south
something
too, the agriculture has already collapsed too. Really, it's so unfortunate that we
we have
just have to
Republic
return
in
back.
Abia State.
What do you say, Ma?
We have Chicken Republic, thanks to former governor. We have
Do you have farm to sustain that, even that smallest judiciary republic? Do you have any poultry that can sustain it? If you have the demand, if the demand comes your way, do you have that? Is there any average farm in East that can sustain that production, the needs of Chicken Republic, the so-called Chicken Republic?
Well, like I said, we heard about the regional government, how it was good. It was like, the land flowing with milk and honey. And we, as the younger generation, we didn't experience it, right? So
Yeah.
that's like we are now experiencing that old national anthem. Let us also follow them and go back to that old system. Let us go and see how it is. So let's even go and experience, so that all this wahala calm down small.
Oh,
Let's go and deal with ourselves.
unfortunately, man. Unfortunately,
Then if you no come work, then now we go use our hand. I talk to
eh,
each other.
eh,
Say, how we want, this, this thing now, so that may not be say, oh, yeah, they don't force us, so, because as we are freely moving around Nigeria, it's not working for us. So let us kukuma.
ma, it's not what we're just all deceiving ourselves. Unfortunately, there is this bias in every region or every sector that hey, is the Hausa that controlling the economy, hey, is the Yoruba that hey, is the this. And at least that one will douse, then we will now see ourselves eye to eye, how greedy we are, even as brothers and sisters, that we are the worst enemy of ourselves before we now talk of taking it out to north or taking it out to west. So let them collapse the system and regionalize. Then let's see the strength of every region. And if
Yeah,
you like, sit down and kill your brother all.
yeah,
It's
and
all left to you.
that excuse the Yoruba. For example, when I look at Delta State with all the money, I don't know why is the primary schools not working. Public primary school are in shambles, like with all the money there. Like when you look at the regions, like in the north, for example, I was reading in Kebbi State that Kemi Olulo posted something that a daughter of Yawadua embezzled 2 billion or something like that in Kebbi State, right? And another person on the streets of Kebbi is what do they have? Nothing. They're just living on their subsistence agriculture, whatever, right?
Mhm.
So imagine if they are within themselves there. So it will be easier for them to see who is doing
Who
what.
is
And
who
of
is
course,
doing
you
what?
can't get away with it within.
Mhm.
And so they are not
Mhm.
going to say it's those Igbo people there, it's those Yoruba people
Mhm.
there.
Mhm.
I think, of course, everything we are thinking. So let's try it. Why
I'm
not?
serious. I want to believe it's a good whatever. We should try it and see. And this time around, at least we will know that okay, this Mr. Bode is from this village. Is the one that embezzled 100 billion of our money. We
Yeah.
can trace him to his father's house. If it's for them to burn it and do whatever with it, they will. Let's teach ourselves lesson within. And we will also realize that even we ourselves, our enemy of ourselves,
Yeah.
within,
Yeah.
within, the enemy of ourselves even is within is even more than before we are taking it now to maybe the next state or the next region. So it is well with Nigeria, but I want to believe we should try that because even this present one is too expensive. That is just my own headache. Before we pay the senators, before we pay the House of Rep, before we pay all these parastatals, all this, and there are lots of duplication of whatever at the end of duties at the end of the day. Nothing is being done. Nothing is being achieved. So of what point is it then?
Yeah. And then we were told if they created more states, better thing, it will get back to the people, getting back closer to the people, and it never got to the people. It remained
Yes, unfortunately.
number of people. So at the end of the day, there's no guarantee that reverting to the regional system will be the ultimate solution. But we are not going to know if we don't try.
Yeah, well, I don't see it too as an ultimate solution, but
Yeah.
at least to a large extent, it will solve the immediate problem of power is being concentrated in the north.
Yeah.
Power is being concentrated in the east. That one at least will solve the madness of we have to divide, we have to go our way. That one will solve it, and let's now bring it to our domots now. That okay, let's vote for my brother for a regional whatever, and I guess at least. And again, to a large extent, I also want to believe too there will be more eye on who now leads each region too. So it can't curb the excesses of the madness of our politician because it's still the same, all the same senators or whatever that will vie for all the posts in different region. They will still bring their greed there. Even an average Nigerian today, an average youth in even as small as secondary school, they are all waiting to get to that level and embezzle their own. That is the unfortunate
So
state of
I
our.
think for me, the question is, what kind of judiciary are we going to have? What kind of law enforcement are we going to have? Is it going to be regional? Is it going to be, federal, or there will be concurrently regional and federal at the same time?
They
Uh,
just have
what
to.
is again, we tend to think like we have just these three major ethnic groups. When I look at Edo State, for example, it's like a mini Nigeria. When I look at Taraba, for example, it's like a mini Nigeria, right? Like it's only these major ethnic groups that like you can actually say you have, like in the north a whole. The north is actually a mirage because there are so many ethnic groups there. But because they can speak one language, so we just assume that it's one people, right? But it's actually a combination of different ethnicities. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
So it's interesting because, for example, when I'm looking at my brother from the Midwest region, for example, he just joined, what is it going to look like? So how are the different ethnic blocks within the regions going to function? Are they going to start this mini, we want our own in their regions? Are you getting me? Like, where will it end? It's interesting. You're welcome, my brother. Let's have him. Let's hear him.
Good evening, madam. I greet everybody, listeners and viewers all over the world. Yeah, it's a very interesting development because, frankly speaking, I think this state creation by these the past military generals has created a lot of harm to the development of that country.
Okay.
So, because one, the people were not consulted. Mostly they were not consulted in so many regions, and they just balkanize everywhere, create government with the deception that now it will be easy to govern the country and more progress, more prosperity. But to be frankly speaking, since 1998, what I have discovered is that Nigeria is becoming very ungovernable because of this state creation. Every time we want to criticize Mr. President, Buhari was a wicked man, Tinubu is an evil man, and the next person, that is how they are going to. But when you look at the state level, it is very difficult to hold these governors accountable. So they are just like, I don't know, they are the actual people siphoning the progress of the land. But it's like they are in the shadow. So it's difficult for the people or the combination of the people of their state to really hold them accountable because they have space and enough space for all manners of excuse. It is Mr. President.
Okay, my brother, when you say that country, specify which country?
I mean my country, Nigeria now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's be clear that we're on the same page. When you say that country, yeah. I don't know which country now. We are talking about.
I'm talking about my. It's not because.
For example, it's not because of the Midwest now.
Yeah.
So if we go back to the Midwest now, how many ethnic groups are in the Midwest?
Well, historically, when they created it, they were having, I think, 12 ethnic nationality.
So if you have a regional system and there are 12 ethnic blocks within that Midwest, is it going to be like each ethnic group will be a district or a mini state? What is it going to be like? And do you think that each of those ethnic blocks will start pointing finger at each other within their region, within that Midwest, and say the Edo are our problem, the Yoruba is our problem, the Isha is they are the one, you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, first of all, I can say Midwest is an example of what Nigeria represents today. I will use this opportunity to always give a lot of praises to my ancestors who put their heads together within that space to say we need a region. And again, that region became a state. And yet, within this space, they were managing themselves. There was nothing like ethnic crisis, like the one we witnessed in the early stage of that country in the Western region that was completely a Yoruba zone.
Okay.
Because if we go back to history of Akintola and Awolowo, some of those things were really the genesis of what we are suffering today. And when you also look at the eastern part of Nigeria, there was also a crash. But the Midwest people, more or less, has been like they were already having a government that dates to centuries, even before the white man. So if people really want to go to history there. So they know themselves. They
Okay.
know how to consult among themselves. But let me just answer that your question. If you look at every country in the world today, just carry where you are, whether any part of country you live in Europe, look at their local government, look at their province, you will discover some are very large, some are very small, and some have lesser population. The reason why it is like that is just the same problem that we are facing today. They were not just once together like this. So they have to recognize the component of the people that make them, whether they are big, they are small. So when you start forcing people to another people because they are small, you have created the problem already. So you must recognize them first. But however, like if you come to the Scandinavia side here, we run community to address this issue. In Sweden, it's community. In Norway, it's community. I don't know of Denmark. And when you look at the community, some are very, very small because they were also very, very divided the way we are. But because of these people were recognized, and the greatest blessing within that region is that no matter how small they have a king, they have a head of council already. You can start a government from there. So there are rooms for people to really come together, no matter how small they are. They must have their own community. If you name it community, if you call it province, if you call it county, whatever you want to call it, then we have to have a kind of an harmonization system of government that now put us together. But the government must come from the root of the people, not the one you impose on them.
In support of the regional system. So
the regional system will bring back law.
The parliamentary system or this current system of Senate and the House of Assembly?
The problem with a complex country like Nigeria, if you want to run parliamentary system, is quite very challenging. You know, we need to know what we want as a people, first of all, and I look at our own problem. Because the federal system is not a problem, but we don't really actually have a federal system in Nigeria. The military, they've already ended that federal system, but we pretend to be having it. And whereas it's not there, that's why we are not feeling the benefit of that federal system. So if we want to go to regional government, we must have a federal that we have to answer to so that we can be able to hold our country. Just the way it is in everywhere. So the parliamentary system of government, I don't know how they're going to shape it because there are some parliamentary system of government whereby you still have to, they have to conduct a general election.
Same thing, because the parliament is like, there will be, like Germany has the parliament system. So in the parliament system, there will be one federal parliament in the capital, like Abuja. Like in Germany, we have the Bundestag in the capital, right? Then each state has, or region, we have their own parliament also. So members of maybe if there are recognized parties like APC, PDP, they will also have all those APC and PDP and Labour in every part of the country. So when you vote, you will be voting for the party, not for individuals. So that's the difference.
Yeah, so, but you see, in the parliamentary system, like that of United Kingdom, you see, that's why I said the parliamentary system is structured in different way, that they tailor it in a way that fits their countries. It's not
but it can work anywhere like that, because that's what the British left for Nigeria. So it was working to an extent. So each party that wins, we appoint members within their party. So maybe within that parliamentary system, the party will make sure that each member of that ethnic bloc within the Midwest, for example, those 12 ethnic groups have representatives or feel counted among in the leadership of the party, something like that.
Yeah, but you see, the real problem we have today, my dear sister, you see, we are becoming more divided the way I'm seeing Nigeria. It's just because of this issue, where people don't really know where their problem lies. They love to blame every other person for it. And that confusion is what is biting that country seriously. So if they return Nigeria to a region today, you're going to have a region parliament. The region parliament is subject to the federal or whether parliamentary in the federal level. And the local government will also be subject now, or counting or whatever. Not this kind of local government, you go and meet people that doesn't know the composition of the people. Either because you are a wife to the president on top, your sister is close to them, you go and say lie. and they start drawing map and pour it upon the people, creating anger and confusion. This is the real problem we are facing today as far across the country, particularly in the southern part of Nigeria. So, but when the people know themselves, they understand so place can be accounting. They have their own way of, you look for a law that pulls them together. They are not equal in size. They can never be across the country. There are those who are small. It's because of the history that affect that land. And that sense of belonging and enable them to grow and develop to the oneness that we are now enjoying today, calling them one country. For example, now I will give an example, like Sweden. Someone from the northern part of Sweden, if he's talking, if he comes to the south, it will take him nothing less than 6 months to 1 year to master when they are talking, communicating in the street. But when they want to communicate in this, in their standard language, she can read, she can write, she can talk, they can understand. You know, every country, there's a way they talk in their street. If you go there, there's a way they so someone from there, it is easy for them to know where someone is from. Up to today, that's why they speak one language. Once you talk,
let's start from our brother that came back. Paparazzi, you're welcome back.
Yeah, Lasadam, good afternoon again.
Good afternoon.
To the other guests, good afternoon. I think this, you know, look how we're enjoying this conversation, just the few of us and other listeners. Then let's try to picture it when it gets to, you know, the bigger cycle. At the end of the day, everyone is going to ask this question, how is it going to pan out? That's the truth. And now you could see the brother who just spoke. Now he's trying to say so many things. The bottom line is coming into regional government at the back of bastardized institutions, a weakened government, you know, we'll have loads of challenges to deal with. But this will just address so many issues, which is what will have most people who are not even inclined per se, they are not technocrats, they don't know what governance is, they are mainly opportunists, they don't even think about the next generation. Because let's get this
okay, so you are of the opinion that it's not going to be a solution.
It will be a solution, but it will reduce the problem, which is the burden, where some persons will be crying that a particular tribe is their issue, or why they don't have pipe-borne waters, why not work in their local communities because of the center, you know. And you see, President Tinubu knows what he wants to do, and people shouldn't forget. Tinubu, like I said yesterday on your program as well, he is part of the NADECO. He is politically grounded. He has been. Let's go back to the NADECO days. They were even demanding for regional government or kind of a sovereign government. But now he is the president. He wants to implement this. Let's just see how it goes, and I hope it sees the light of the day, so that all these tensions and here and there will die off.
Yeah.
People now know how to take their blames and their responsibility to, you know, that's just what I see.
Thank you so much.
Madam, let me also quickly put this one.
Yes, Dom. Sorry,
let me let my sister talk again.
Okay, madam, sorry.
Sorry, sir. Yeah. Good day, everybody, once again. Miss Blessdom, there is no perfect system in this world. Every system have a two-team problem or the other. But we just have to take that bold step. And face it. And really, as problems are coming up, that is why there are people there. That is why we come together as parliament or whatever that they will have to solve it and address the problem. So we just need to take up that bold step, and at least it will solve the main problem which we even want it to solve first is the problem of this is the Hausas that have been controlling, is the Yorubas that have been, at least our
brother made a comment here. He said the only reason people want regional government is because they are tired of our problematic tribe. They just want us to deal with our problems, our issues by ourselves. Forget all the other excuses.
I'm serious, because Igbo man today believes that the Hausa Nigeria is not being fair to them. And really, to a large extent, when I look at it, I empathize with them. an average Yoruba man too will be like, this is it. While even despite the fact everybody believe that the power has been resident in the north for a very long time, the average north too, they will have, if you ask them too, they will have what to say too, that no, it's the Igbos that or it's the Yoruba that. So, but at least let's even dissolve and let's even go to the grassroots. Let's even.
Our brother is saying English language is one of our problems in Nigeria.
I don't think English language is one of the problem. I don't think so.
To communicate to the people.
I don't think English
language tired now. We go.
I don't think English language is English language that we adopted is just a common official language. And I don't think that is the problem. That is not our problem. We ourselves, we are our own problem. Even as brothers and sisters in Yoruba land, we have people that even within household, you have people that they are creating problem for one another. So let's know English is not the problem we have. It's we ourselves that we should deal with the greed in us, the wickedness in us. We should deal with it as a people.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Our brother is corroborating your point. He said, if we go to the regional government, to me, it will be the best for our country, Nigeria, because there are so many tribes and everyone else in the country will be recognized in ethnicity as a people. That's actually what our brother, the Midwest, is saying, you know.
Yes.
So our brother Edwin is saying that everybody they form sharp man. Our Nigeria go take better. That everybody is greedy and trying to take advantage. You know?
See, madam, may I put this one there? You see, what is good about region is this. Definitely, if we go into regional government, every region cannot be as rich as equal. Now, even the community you're going to create, or I use community anyway, that's what we use here, or local government, county, whatever in the province, they are not still going to be of equal in size and in terms of weight. So by the time we start contributing to the federal, there comes the importance of accountability. If you are assisting a region to grow or a community to grow, what you are putting into that money to the nation or the country as a whole must be aware of. They must be aware of what they are spending that money for. And again, if we have a regional government, remember in this case, the region will start having a say in terms of management of the resources.
All these things we are talking about is also possible in this federal system.
No, it's not possible because see why it's not possible. It's not possible.
And that doesn't mean the state should embezzle money.
It's not possible. It's not possible in the federal. The federal system will protest to the whole Nigeria hostage. It's a complete hostage.
It's so
our brother is writing that the first military coup in Nigeria and the abolishment of the 1963 People's Constitution and the introduction of Decree 34 are the genesis of the trouble with Nigeria. If those never happen, all these troubles wouldn't be here. So inadvertently, you are saying, yes, let's go back to the 1963 Constitution and start from there. Okay. So my people, thank you so much for being a part of this program. I don't know if anybody wants to say something before I go. It's almost 2 hours here.
Okay. What I will say is this: let's try to encourage it, support a president. There is no way somebody with the way they structure Nigeria today from Abuja, you will be facing Nigeria, because it is very clear that the real people destroying Nigeria are the governors, and yet they are in the shadow, inside darkness, doing it while they blame the president for all of them. So that's the problem we are having today. If we go to region, people will hold their leaders accountable. There's no and the president will hold them accountable because the money they are generating from there, the federal is expecting like 50%. So they cannot play with accountability then. And the same regional government who gave them this money, we also want to know what they are spending it for. There will be balance among the country.
Okay.
So that is what I believe.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Blessdom. I just want to appreciate your, as in using your platform for the cause of Mr. Ijele. We really appreciate the good work you're doing. We also appreciate Mr. Henry Chimeze for being a wonderful friend and brother to Mr. Ijele, in the face of this persecution. It's not easy. Thank you so much for all we do. And we pray that our country will experience peace, justice again. We know that it can't come in a day. It's a process.
Yeah.
And we pray that God will protect each every one of us, that we also contribute positively to the cause of Nigeria. God bless you all. Thank you, man.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Henry. God bless you.
Thank you, everyone. So in closing, now let's sing the old national anthem. Oh God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed. And so in peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed. Okay, Odaro. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for being a part of the
Goodbye.
program.
Good night. Bye.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Bye now. Bye.